Fernando Alonso continued to prove the only luck he has is bad luck, as Aston Martin today threw away the Monaco GP win with a Ferrari-esque strategy. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Racing. Here to discuss the Monaco Grand Prix, here to break it down. But in reality, I don't really want to break it down, because the only thing that broke down was Alonso's chances of getting a win. It was looking so good. I actually thought Alonso was going to win this race comfortably. He would have been ahead of Max had they picked the right strategy. But no, I thought my eyes were deceiving me. I thought I was going colourblind. I thought those red overalls had turned green, because that's what it looked like. Now, don't get me wrong, Ferrari were still poor in this race. They still made a massive mess up, and they cost both of their drivers multiple positions. But at the end of the day, Ferrari were not competing for a win. Podium at best. Alonso was competing for a win, and I feel like Aston Martin denied him it.
Yeah, and with Ferrari, let's talk about Ferrari. I mean, they actually didn't even split it. They both stayed it, and both had the stack.
And they finished, 6th and 8th, when in reality, I mean, it could have been like 3rd and 5th.
The thing is, though, right, you see what Aston Martin were going for. See, when it's Ferrari, half the time you don't see what they're going for.
Yeah.
So, you know what? It's tough luck, but I think you had to put the inters on. I know what they were going for, but realistically, half the track was wet, and Max is on tyres that are done. You had to put the inters on. You had to. It was a big blunder. You know what? It was a good race.
I mean, look, everyone was going from dries to inters. What was the chances of Fernando Alonso getting it right and being the only driver basically going on to dries and everyone else going on to wets or inters? You know what I mean? Like, the chances of Alonso pulling that off. Plus, I feel like you have a lot more likely to throw the car into the wall if you're on the dry tyres. I feel like the inters were the safer option. I mean, the only way the inters would have been the wrong option would have been if Max stayed on dries and then the track stayed dry. Yeah. But I think Max was never going to risk that. I think Max would have always went inters. It would have gave Alonso the lead. Didn't happen. Here, you know, it was a decent race. At the start, you know, Max pulled away. Ocon was basically holding everyone behind him, so it kind of quickly became a 2-horse race. We've seen that Alonso just didn't quite have the pace to go head-to-head with Max, but we knew that. I think we knew that wasn't going to happen.
But the thing is, I would say in years to come, this race will always be looked back in. I think it's probably going to be the only race that Alonso and Max went head to head for a victory. I know people will be like, well, but he was never in it. He was in it, right? If you actually know your F1, he was fucking in it.
Yeah, it's crazy that some people can't see how Alonso had track position if they made the right call here with the strategy. He would have been ahead. He closed the gap down to 21 seconds before Max pitted. But what would the gap have been had Alonso put on? That was with Alonso on dries. Imagine Alonso was on fresh inters. How much extra time would he have took out of Max? He clearly would have been in the lead once Max pitted. Didn't happen. Then he just kind of fell off. I mean, after Alonso came in and had
Alonso pulled about 7 seconds out of him, and then I think he made the mistake because we've seen yellow sectors, and then he lost 3 seconds and I can't remember what part of the lap, and then after that he just constantly lost a bit of time. But you know what, race of the season, you know what, for Monaco, it doesn't really get much better than that, in my opinion.
What's really frustrating is, though, this is exactly what Alonso needed. We were saying that what Alonso needed was he needed the rain to come, and he needed essentially Max to pit, Max to not be able to hold out on the mediums until the rain came, so Max would already make his pit, then Alonso, when the rain came, could go straight from the dries to the inters, and it turned out to be the exact opposite of what happened. What we needed to happen, what Aston Martin needed to happen for Alonso to win, it happened the opposite way about. Alonso went from dries to dries, then had to make an extra pit stop to go into the intermediates, whereas Max managed to go from dries straight onto inters, even though he was on the softer compound that should not have lasted as long. So, I mean, Aston Martin could not have asked for a better opportunity to win this. What they needed to happen for them to win this race happened, and they messed it up.
Yeah, and you know what? They're not going to get a better opportunity.
I'm not saying they can't win a race, but they're not going to get a better chance to win a race in this.
They got given the golden ticket. Like, Russell did the exact same. Russell would have got a podium if he didn't make his mistake.
Yeah, no, whereas I feel like for Alonso probably to beat Max in a race, he's going to have to rely on a bit of luck, maybe a Max mistake, maybe like in qualifying or some sort of grid penalty. I feel like that is what Alonso's going to have to rely on, whereas he didn't need a Max mistake today. All Alonso needed to do was get things right.
Exactly, but... And you know what? They were trying to pin it on Alonso, and then it turns out Ted was like, no, it was actually Aston Martin who did it.
Alonso questioned the decision, which seems about right, but again, just no luck. So whatever. Aston Martin throw away the win. Let's talk about Aston Martin. Stroll was crap today. We will do driver ratings, but I mean he's going to get a big fat 0, I think, because it's embarrassing. Same for Perez. I mean, both of these drivers showing that they're just not what their counterparts are really. I'm not putting Perez in the same boat here as Stroll, but I mean,
Stroll was horrendous.
Look at what
it tells you everything you need to know, right? When Stroll's hitting the wall more on inters than Alonso was in dries.
I don't think Alonso hit the wall once.
No, exactly. So
well, not that we've seen anyway. Max was pushing and he hit the wall multiple times, but got away with it. Ocon got third place, so congratulations to Esteban Ocon. I think that's only his third podium in his career, which I don't know. I had a feeling he had more than that.
Well, he got one in Bahrain 2020, and then he got his win, and then so three's about right.
No, I thought he had a few more than that, but it turns out it's his third win. Hamilton came home in 4th, Russell 5th. They both managed to finish ahead of Leclerc in 6th. I think it was Gasly in 7th, and then Carlos Sainz in 8th.
Then it was Norris and Piastri, so
both McLarens get points, and there was a bet that I looked at the start of the race, Alonso podium, both McLarens. Although I think you need a safety car with that, so that would have screwed you. Yeah. How there wasn't a safety car, by the way, I do not know. I'm not being a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, I feel like the only way a safety car here kind of would have screwed Max, and it would have made the race so much fucking interesting. Yet we didn't get it.
I will say this: I feel like a safety car would have ruined about the 5-lap period where everyone was flying off, because it would have just slowed everything down. But you needed it after, or before. I mean,
towards the end, like more or less, the entire field did kind of split out. I mean, the only positions that were really getting battled for was possibly Hamilton catching Ocon, but he didn't manage to do anything. Tsunoda, I thought had a decent race, but his brakes went not long to go at the end, so that cost him a few points. Who else? Sargent was kind of just at the back the entire race. Didn't really do much.
He caused a few overtakes to happen, so fair play to him.
Magnussen was, I don't know what he was trying. I mean, the track when it was at its wettest, he was running about on dry tyres. Well, I say running about, he was crawling about on dry tyres. So, you know what, man, it was a good race. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yep, easily.
So we'll see what happens.
Race of the season.
And now we move on to Spain. So yeah, we'll see what happens in Spain. Can Alonso get a win in his hometown, his home country? It's going to be hard. I don't think he'll do it. I hope he'll do it. He thinks he's got a chance in Spain. I personally think the Red Bull will be too strong, but you never know. We'll be there. We'll be tuning in. Like I said, guys, more reaction, more driver ratings to come. But for right now, as an Alonso fan, I feel very disappointed. I feel like this was a great chance, and Aston Martin threw it away. That's it. Catch you in the next one. Peace.